to the highly sensitive person.
When someone wants to control your energy or your frequency,
even if it doesn't always feel that way,
what they do is they attack your finances. So I'm going to tell you guys about my first house that was stolen. I called because my other house had burned down in the wildfires, and I needed to replace my retreat cabin, and I'd given my money away to charity my entire life. So I always saved for what I wanted and bought outright, whether it was cars or houses. Other than that, I used it all for business and gave it away to make the world a better place. Well, somebody decided to steal my house. So you might have two questions. One, how does someone steal a house? And two, why would somebody be trying to control your energy?
And everything in between.
They might be jealous, but usually it's they want your energy, or
just because you can feel everyone else's
they are some kind of like
doesn't mean you have
parasitic, envious, fake friend or lover. What happened is I needed to sell that house because I had been illegally targeted in a city that I was living in San Francisco. So while you guys were home during COVID, and nobody, even people that, owe thousands and thousands of dollars in rent, nobody was allowed to be evicted because the whole world was shut down. So you weren't supposed to be unhoused or unsettled. And then they gave money. But some people decided that they would block my money, the money that everybody got during the pandemic. And then my landlord owed me $8,000, and I went and manufactured products to stop the high level of self-elimination that was happening from people thinking the world was ending, like there was an apocalypse and they were not going to recover, like a zombie apocalypse. It was like really strange, but there were people doing things to themselves to not be in the world anymore. So I reprogram brains 3 to 5 sessions, no matter what hardships people have been through, or how extreme their psychosis is. So what I did was I came home and I had manufactured some products to help older people. So while everybody was at home, I was thinking of how to make the world better. So I did 2 things. I manufactured products because the number one people with the that's it, the world is ending type of thing were old people who had already fought the world wars and grew victory gardens, and very young mothers. So in order to prevent them from being done permanently, I manufactured some mind reprogramming products. Well, I went to pick them up and I came home and the locks on my doors had been changed. And at first I didn't get it. So when people are being, crazy and entitled, or various things that we have euphemisms for, just really just being evil, low frequency, not, bloodline evil, or not like sexy evil, but just like envious, right? Hateful, racist, whatever. I came back and I couldn't get in, and it was the pandemic, and the law said if people owed rent, you couldn't kick them out. You couldn't lock them out because they didn't want people outside during the world shutdown. So that meant nothing was open except for a few hotels for first responders. And there were some money that was being given to make sure that everybody could stay home while everything was shut down because nobody could go to work. So I got in my off-road vehicle because I did call the police and file a police report. And they said, there's nothing we're going to do about it. So I prayed, I meditated, and the spiritual answer was, go save lives. That's what you do, right? You can work for free. Go save lives. So I didn't have any money coming in. And I paid for all the gas, all the food, hotels, staying at truck stops. I was like Terminator's mom. I crossed the continent twice, saving lives, while most people were staying home complaining about baking bread. And when it was over, I was like, oh my goodness, the wildfires. And then I said, well, I'll sell one of my other houses. And my other houses are in other states, and I didn't buy them to live in them, and I didn't buy them to rent out. I bought them to help the people that lived in those towns be able to write letters for them and fight for their rights, but be able to be a resident instead of an outsider fighting. So I call a realtor to sell it. The realtor was referred to me by a woman in the Bay Area in California. And it turned out that both of them had a scam to steal my house. So the woman, instead of selling my house so that I would have like a quick like $40,000, $50,000, instead wrote a fake paper, did deed theft, and was so crazy. I'll have to make you guys another video of how you recognize villains early on from them being cold-hearted, right? So if someone is selfish, if someone pays attention to more what they give you than what they take, that's like a parasite. And I don't mean like people that are always watching who's taking from them are usually people that are like energy vampire or actual parasites. When parasites come, they already know what they're going to do to you. So they're trying to figure out a way to get close to you to be in your life, right? So imagine this woman and her friend planned from the beginning to steal my house by pretending they were going to help me sell it so that I could reestablish financially. And instead, she created multiple fake contracts and real estate frauds, unbeknownst to me, and then tried to get me to take $2,000 for my house. She wanted to have me sell it to her friend for $10,000. I had it listed. It had a huge backyard. The backyard was bigger than most people's houses, with really tall birch trees that had been established. The local fireman was taking care of my yard because it was like many states away, like states that take you 3 days to drive to, or 6 to 8 hours, 9 hours to fly to. So I had a house in the East Coast, the South, and then 2 tiny houses in the West Coast that I built. So I have purchased 3 homes, been given 1 home, and built myself, not had built, but physically built myself 2 tiny homes so that I could have homes in the mountains and be able to go to festivals and save people's lives. Or I was displaced illegally and I didn't have money or support to have a home, so I built a home. So at this point, I'm like a master to the point of having taught 2 years for people to understand tiny homes and how to do it. And so the one that stole my 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house in the East Coast was a real estate agent, a girl from the Bay Area, and a real estate agent there. And then the person that wants to buy it made fake deed and did deed theft and stole my house. And yes, I did report it. For those of you who are like, did you report it? Yes, I did report it. But that's how far people will go in order to ruin your finances so that they can control your energy. So it wasn't people being racist. It was people get tricked of like smaller hateful things like evil that transmutes you. So racism is something that does that. Homophobia is something that does that. Sexism is something that does that. The little judgments that we have of each other, all of those kind of things transmute you to being evil. You run a lower frequency. I try to say frequency because as a scientist, you can test frequency. When you say evil, your definition of evil and my definition of evil might be different. Your neighbor's definition of evil might be different. But when people are unkind and selfish and they're willing to take whatever from your life, right? Like when my daughter was kidnapped, there were people literally coming to me to help them while refusing to help me. Like, can you save my life? I know somebody just, SRA and kidnap your 2-year-old child, but can you come help me with this life circumstance? Because, they were really screwed up and they had resources, but they didn't have the mindset or the wherewithal.